Are you ready? Go ahead and start anytime. I hope you're going to edit this out, right? Alright, we have a situation. We have the tools to flare any size tubing up to 1 inch, including 1 inch. But we had a situation where we needed to flare some 1 1/4 inch. And we went in search of a 1 1/4 inch flaring tool, and we were sadly disappointed that they were rare as rocking horse poop. So we decided that we would make our own flaring tool, and it lends itself to not only 1 1/4 inch but any other size that you want to make. Now what we made here is essentially this right here is a collet, and what it does is it will grip the tubing while it allows us to roll the flange on there. Now what we've done, if you look at this, come in a little bit closer here, what we have is we've turned this in a couple different diameters, and we've split the sides of it in 3 because we're going to do it in a chuck, and a 3-jaw chuck and a lathe, and that way we can just grab the chuck on the 3 jaws. We'll grab it on each one of the fingers there, and we split it back, and we've let this part back here act like the hinge, and we have reduced. This is the diameter right here back on the hinge. We've got the diameter out here so it can actually squeeze down a little bit without the jaws touching back here, and we left that flange on there like that so it just goes up against the jaws of the chuck, so it self-centers it. And you can see we've got the 37-degree flare there on the inside, and the tubing then simply slides in place. So let it stick out a few mil, about 1/8 of an inch or so, because you got to roll it back, and then we'll chuck it in the lathe. And then the other part is the flaring tool that we bring in, and just let it rub up against the side there like that to push that over. This is on a bearing, just a very simple little bearing deal. Got 2 bearings inside here. It's an 1 1/4 inch shaft that goes in one of our Alora's tool holders, and then that rotates and just goes out against the flange right there and pushes it over. Let's put it in place and see what we got. The first thing we'll do is we'll slide the tool in the tool holder, tighten it down, and come over here to the lathe, and we'll put the tool holder in place, and we slide this in the lathe here. Now you see we index it around so each one of the 3 jaws goes on one of the 3 fingers there. We'll tighten that down, get that out to the right distance. Alright, there you go, snug it down there like that. Sticking out just a little bit too far, tap that back some. Look about right there. Okay, tighten that down real good and tight, which we certainly don't want it to move. Now we're not going to run the lathe real fast because it's just not that important. You bring around, you see it comes around like this. We let that cone go up on the edge right there. Now these are both at 37 degrees, so it just takes that edge and rolls it right back over. Let's spin it up, see what we got here. Okay. Might have to tighten that belt, huh? Okay, so let's bring it over. It's no big deal. It's not brain surgery or nothing. Can you get in there and see that? And see, watch it roll that flange right back. What about you come in from the top? Can you come in from the top? Go over the top. There you go. Like that. Kind of rolls it back there real easy like. So easy to do. And whenever you finally got the tube out against the collet, you can stop. Now, see what we did there. Get it out. And see, we got a nice little flange on there. Isn't that nifty? Let's go over and try it now. It fits right down inside there just the way it should. It fits on the little. Okay. Now it goes on, and we've now flared 1 1/4 inch. Now if I want to make a flaring tool for 1.5 inches or 2 inch or 2.5 or 3 inch or whatever size I decide, all I have to do is make a bigger one of these, which is pretty simple. Just spin that up in the lathe, bore it out a few thou, like 5-6 thou bigger than the tube is, so it slides in nice and easy. And then you got to leave a step here, so whenever that pinches down, that the chuck actually pinches here instead of pinching here. And then we put a little thing on there like that, because what's going to happen is whenever you put the energy against it, it's going to try to push it back into the chuck, and that's what that lip right there does, is keep the whole thing from going back inside the chuck. And Bob's your uncle. Up periscope. See.